the scalper, right? So let's take a look at the scalper here. This is the trade scalper, and so this is a unique chart, right? So let me just open this up here. So what you're seeing here on this chart here on the trade scalper is not the typical trade scalper chart you've probably seen in videos. It's the same software and it's the same method, right? You learn the method. You know, I'm big on teaching the method, so it's not as if you're looking at anything black box. But there's a different aspect to what you're seeing, and this goes back to the question. I forgot who asked the question. I think it was Ben. Did you recommend having both the trade scalp? And I would say yes, Ben. You can have both on. If I didn't answer that question, you can have both on, so that way, am I above the Atlas line to go long? Let me take all the scalp trades long. Or am I below the Atlas line so I can take all the scalp trades short? There's nothing wrong with that. And there's also nothing wrong with taking long trades as well when the price is below the Atlas line if you're just using that for scalping, because it's just a small entry in and out as well. So what we're looking at here, I think the question earlier, I forgot to ask the question, but can I use the range chart and the ATR, right? I forgot to ask that. If you're still in the room, let me know. So what you have here is something a little bit unique. So you can add the software, the trade scalper, on any chart. So whether you're using it on the range chart, which I like, or the 1 minute chart, you can use it on any chart. And what I've done here, as you can see it, is I've actually put the range chart and the minute chart in the same window, right? In the same area. So they're not in separate screens. I have multiple monitors, and you don't have to have that. And so the idea with why I'm doing this is, first, do I have a signal on the range chart, and do I have a signal on the minute chart, and can I find more opportunities, more trades, or are they happening at the same time? So let me see all the signals and make my decision whether I should buy or sell, having it all in one place visually. So you can see this is a long trade on the range chart, successful. It didn't fire off on the 1 minute chart. Here is a short on the range chart. It didn't fire on the 1 minute chart. So we have more opportunities in different ways when you do it this way, because you can take either the signal on the range chart or signal on the minute chart, or both, right? Again, you see here a signal double wick short on the range chart, but nothing on the minute chart, right? Now, when this happens, it's not a bad thing or it's not a good thing. It's just the software is calculating on different charts. When you come to what type of target you should have, this is where, and the reason why I have 1 minute chart and the ATR located below, because when this fires off, the range chart is telling me to go 42.8375 to sell it, right? 42.8375 to be a seller, and I'm using the ATR of a 1 minute chart to tell me the target or the expectation or the type of stop. All those things I'm using based on the ATR of the 1 minute. So the range chart is firing off the signals, and the 1 minute chart is telling me this is the target. 1 3/4 of a point, or a point, or 3 ticks, or 1.5 points, but I wouldn't try for 5 points. I would just say this is what the market should move, and I'd like to take a target closely resembling this value. So 1.83 on the E-mini, it's 1/4 point increments. I'm just rounding down to the nearest 1/4 point. So 1.5, 1 3/4 would be my expectation. What I don't want to do is I don't want to see, for example, a sell and a buy right happening at the same time or same general area. That's something I want to avoid. So if you look at software, we don't want to really see things that are conflicting. Instead, focus on the things that are all telling you we're going in the same direction. We have Atlas line long, we have trade scalper long, maybe we even have two different ideas here. Let me see if I can show you kind of an example. So this is the long 42.81, and this is a long 42.81. They are happening at the same exact, pretty much time, I would say, to go long. I would say it's a great long opportunity. So you are not just looking at the range chart or the 1 minute chart. You're looking at both or maybe if they are coinciding, but never trade if things are confusing. If we have so many signals, why are we going to risk taking a signal? I don't even know if it could happen where we have one long and one short at the same time on two different charts. I don't think that's really something you're going to encounter a lot, but avoid it. If you do see it, avoid it. So for example, here is a long at 42.80, and here is another long at 42.7850. It's exactly the same on the range chart. These two here are telling me long. So I would say to you, great opportunity to be a buyer because both are happening at the same time, not even using the Atlas line, which you can do pre-market. You can set the Atlas line up for pre-market trading as well. But we're not even using the Atlas line. We're just going off the scalper. Over here, this is a short, 42.79 and a quarter. Let's take a look here. 79 and a quarter. Right around here to go short. And by the way, if you see the little, I'm not sure if you can see it. There's a little triangle. Let me see if I can show you here. These little triangles here, like that and like that. These little triangles are part of the software as well. So you can see that it's not just the text that tells you go long or short at this specific value. It's also little triangles telling you, like little markers as well. So I really like, Larry, the trade scalper. I use multiple methods, not just the trade scalper. I like the roadmap. I use a variety of things. The trade scalper is one of my primary focuses, definitely. So if you are thinking about the trade scalper, I think that's really all you need to start off with. I like to use more of a combination factor when I trade, using the Atlas line, using the X5 as well, and the X5 is included with the trade scalper. It's a bonus program, bonus method of trading price action. I like to use the roadmap. So I like to incorporate everything. Usually, though, the best thing is not to trade at all. Usually the best thing to say is let's put it all together and let's see if there's anything conflicting so I know to stay out, or if there's anything that may be in my favor in order to say, well, the market is going in my favor with multiple methods telling me long or short. I like that as well. 3 or 4 trades a day is all you really need. That's what I like to do, 3 or 4 trades. I don't believe that you need to trade, again, I said this earlier, 24 hours a day to be successful. Focus on, good, solid quality as opposed to just, taking every single trade that comes your way. I think it's more of a waste of time in doing that. I live in Florida and it's sunny here. I'd like to enjoy the sunshine a little bit instead of just being stuck in the office or in front of my computer. And I tell that to everybody as well. You don't have to, sit in front of your computer as a trader all day long from 9:30 to 4 Eastern Standard, the trading day to be successful. 3, 4 trades a day, 4 or 5 points, stop. There's nothing more that you could do except from that point on increase the number of contracts. So you start off with 1, you go to 2, you go to 3. At 5 contracts, if you think about making $500 or $600 a day potentially, I would suggest that is enough that you should just say, okay, this is good for the day, let me stop. And the more you trade, I guess you can look at it as more opportunities, but I think of it as well as more risk. So I never think of trading more as better. I think trading more puts me in a higher risk as well. Larry, okay? Trading the news. We have a couple of videos on trading the news, Robert. I would recommend, I don't have time to teach you the trading news method, but if you look on the blog or if you look at our trading videos, I have, 10 or 15 videos on trading the news, and maybe the next webinar we'll do that. We'll do a trading the news webinar. I can teach you that method live. All right, Robert? So the X5 trade is not the BMW X5 in the same effect. It's a floor traders, it's called the Floor Trader Secrets Guide. It's called the X5 method. So the floor traders, when they come together, there's not any floor traders at the moment, right? Everything is electronic, but floor traders in the past would come together and manipulate the market and push the market and reverse the market. And this is what the X5 is all about. You don't need any software. You can trade it on any trading platform. I teach the method in full, so it's not, it's very easy, but it's a way that the traders that exist manipulate the market, and we take advantage of that because we know how it's done. It's not taught really anywhere. And so the things that I teach are not things that you'll find anywhere else. They are very unique, and they were taught to me by floor traders and by insiders that I think had more of an edge than most traders that are out there that say, look, when this happens, it's because they're all manipulating the market. Look, when this happens, there's profit taking occurring because they're all now scaling out. And that's, again, part of the roadmap, what the roadmap does. And just to show you a little bit of the roadmap here, this is taught in the mentorship class. And mentorship, by the way, starts July 1st. We have a new class, and all of the courses and all of the software are included. It's a low price, so we put it as a bundle, as a package. It's just one price and includes lifetime software and lifetime access for everything. So we try to make it, if you guys want to really learn everything, join the mentorship, and includes all of the courses in one plan. So the roadmap here, let me just add it here to the chart. I haven't seen it this morning. I give you an example, DayTradeToWin software. These are all the softwares that you get, part of being in the mentorship. And roadmap, you don't have to do anything. Again, there's no optimization. And it plotted on the range chart, but that's okay. So what we're doing here, it doesn't really matter. What we're doing here is just lowering this here a little bit. So the areas that you see here, the roadmap, is unique. What it does is it tells you where the market is going to reverse or turn around or cause for concern. Okay, that's really what it comes down to. And so in mentorship, when we say there's a signal to buy or signal to sell, the next question should be, what's the reason for me not to take this trade? Is there something stopping me from taking this trade? Maybe it's a signal in the opposite direction. Maybe it's news. Maybe the market's too strong or too slow. And another reason is, are the traders about to take profit? So if you look at this here, the market is going up and up and up, and you're buying and you're buying, and traders are buying and they're accumulating. And the roadmap is telling you and plotting up here, indicating at this area, be careful, because if all these traders are accumulating these long positions, expect there to be profit taking and the market will reverse or stop and go down. So the last thing you want to do is buy it once it lands in this area. So what the roadmap does, at first it's a filter. It helps you understand that you shouldn't be buying the market at this specific price or this area at the moment because something's about to happen, and it tells you this in advance, so doesn't happen immediately, so you're trying to scramble. It happens in advance. So this is plotting, telling you this is not the place where you want to be a buyer or get out of your long position. At the same time, let me see if I can find a long situation. So the market's going down and down and down. You're selling, you're shorting it, you're scalping it, you're doing everything as a seller. Once it lands in this area, for whatever reason, traders are now buying it back and taking profit. So I'm going to ask everyone a question. I kind of do this. Let me just remove this here so it doesn't confuse us. So I'm going to ask everyone a question. Is there something on this chart that will indicate don't be a seller? Because if you put on a moving average or momentum or MACD or any indicator, volume moving averages, EMA, and even if I remove this here completely, and I remove this completely, is there anything here on the chart indicating buy it? What do you think? There's nothing here that says I should buy the market. As a matter of fact, most of you would probably say, look at this strength. As a seller, I want to be a seller, right? Most of you would say sell it. And I would say to you, sure, let's sell the market only if there's nothing that will interfere with selling the market. So there's nothing wrong with selling it, right? But why sell it at an area where the market may reverse like this? And it's not based on any prior support or resistance. So if I look back here, there's nothing here that tells me prior support. Maybe this, if anything, I would say that's prior support. But there's nothing back here that I could be concerned with that is some major support value. And this is using the range chart, not even using a 5-minute chart or 1-minute chart. So if I click indicators and I go to my roadmap indicator, this will advise me into the future. If you're still trading short, be careful, stay out of the short position, or don't go short if it lands in the roadmap zone. So as soon as it landed in the roadmap zone, remember, this is plotting, right? This is plotting and plotting and plotting, telling you not to go short, and it reversed. So if you decided to take a short trade here, because those moving averages finally crossed, you're in trouble. That's the purpose of the roadmap, first as a filter. And then it also provides signals. So in fact, if the market lands in the zone and starts to reverse off of it, you're going to get a signal, right? It's going to say it's happening as expected. We want to be a buyer. It's a counter trend method, counter trend entry. Second, a filter to avoid you getting run over by traders taking profit. So if I sold one contract and then I sold another and then I sold another, and I have maybe 5 or 10 under my belt, and finally the market reaches an area where I'm in profit territory, I'm not going to get out with 1, 2, 3 in the same fashion. I'm going to say, close out my position, all 10 contracts, just get me out now. I want to take my money and run. This is what causes the extreme reversals that we see. It's accumulation, and then the automatic, I don't want to say dumping, but the automatic closing out of positions in a hurry or in a rush to get you out of your position, to close out that position to take money out of the market. That's what causes this immediate reversal. And it's the same thing here. As soon as the market, we're buying 1, 2, 1, 2s, and then it's dumping at 5s, 10s, 20s, 100s. You can see it on the tape. If you look at the time and sales window, you can see huge amount of contracts coming through at these areas. But we already know these areas in advance. It's not as if we're looking at tape reading to understand that they're going to happen. And so if you look at this here, if the market reaches this price, you can probably look at this later during the day after the webinar is over. Take a look at if the market hits between 42.70 below 42.76, that we don't want to be a short, and it may just reverse on you. And the same thing here, as we start going up and up and up, we may see a reversal. Making sure that I'm not going too far over anybody's heads explaining this. All right. So I'm going to close out the room here in just a minute. If you have any questions, if you'd like to learn more about the programs we offer, we have tons of videos. The all courses page, we have the Trade Scalper, the Atlas line, the At the Open 2 method as well. And we have the coaching, private with me, or a group setting, certain days and times. Again, the next group mentorship starts July 1st, twice a week, and everything is included. And if you want to learn more about the Trade Scalper, you can visit the Trade Scalper page or the Atlas line or the ATO2. And feel free to email me or reach out if you have any questions. If you're new to day trading and want to learn more on the benefits of trading the markets, visit DayTradeToWin.com, join the next mentorship class starting later this month, and subscribe to the DayTradeToWin YouTube channel. We focus on price action and work exclusively with new and beginner traders who want to learn more on how to prosper from trading.